Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the TV6 Digital Desk live stream. My name is Molly Birch, and I'll be taking you through a recap of today's headlines. This stream runs every night starting at 8-7 Central Time from Sunday to Thursday. Sorry I missed you last night. I was feeling a little under the weather, but I'm glad to be back with you today. Feel free to comment and ask any questions you have in the chat as you feel like it, and I'll do my best to answer those questions as we go and after the stream as well. With all of that business out of the way, let's take a look at our first story for tonight. We start with new developments in continuing coverage out of Delta County. A third county commissioner will face a recall election in May. District 5 Commissioner Robert Peterson submitted his signature challenges on December 4th. Delta County Clerk Nancy Prezrocki said at that time, Peterson submitted a lot of challenges. Last night, Peterson learned his challenge attempts failed. Prezrocki verified 778 signatures, 3 more than the 775 required for Peterson to be on the ballot. District 3 and District 4 Commissioners Robert Barron and David Moyle previously learned that they would be on the May recall ballot. The 3 commissioners are facing recall attempts for their role in the firing of County Administrator Emily DeSalvo. She was fired at a Delta County board meeting in February. DeSalvo gave a speech citing ethical concerns about certain board members. District 5 residents have until December 24th to run against Peterson in May. And Ely Township is getting a new sign made by a Westwood High School student. The sign was made by junior Tanner Anela. Westwood's career and technical education instructor John Jessen says the project was originally his responsibility before Anela took over. Anela says the design was made using a CTE Center's digital plasma cutter. Both Jessen and Anela say they're happy to see CTE students get recognized.
It feels pretty good, like doing something in school, then having people know about it, like you're actually doing something that kind of matters for other people.
We enjoy doing, community outreach projects like this, and it's even better when we get kids involved and, when you see kids get really excited about giving back to the community.
The sign has to be powder coated before it's put in the Ely Township Park. And the deadline to nominate a forest for protection under the Forest Legacy Program is this Friday. Funded by the Inflation Reduction Act, the Forest Legacy Program provides funding to purchase land and protect it for future generations. There are 3 categories for eligible land: large plots that are ecologically important, lands that have tribal significance, or small tracts of land located next to a larger protected area to be nominated for protection. The Michigan DNR says there are likely a lot of places in the UP that people would like to see protected.
Maybe there's some really cool place that somebody thinks is worthy of protection or worthy of keeping open to the public. They want to ensure that it's going to be there for the future for not only them but for other people who come after them. My guess is there's a lot of them in the UP that people think are valuable enough to be nominated.
You can nominate a plot of land for protection at uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app. And the largest scenic trail system in the United States, some of which crosses through the UP, is now a National Park Service unit. The North Country Trail is 4,800 miles long. It travels across 8 states from North Dakota to Vermont, including nearly 550 miles in the UP. Marquette Area Chapter Board member Brad Slagle says this designation could benefit UP trail development.
We do projects. We apply for grant money for materials to build boardwalks and build bridges and even pay for easements sometimes. And a lot of those grants and funding through the Park Service are only available if you're a unit of the national park, and we were not a unit before, so now we can have access to those kind of grants.
It will still be free to park at trailheads. The executive director says the goal of the North Country Trail is to highlight the scenic and historical significance of the northern U.S. And the UP Wheeling Sportsman Club helps hunters continue to do what they love most, go hunting. Dan Branham broke his neck in 2022, which left him partially paralyzed from the neck down. The Escanaba man says what the Wheeling Sportsman gives him goes beyond simply getting a deer. The group helps people like Branham use special equipment to pull the trigger.
Out in the outdoors again and enjoying what you always like to do. We can provide opportunities for that with our specialized equipment.
To be able to get out and hunt and still do some of the passions that I've had before, to be able to get out like this is, you certainly look forward to it. It's a lot of fun.
Branham got his deer during rifle season this year, as did about 50% of the people Wheeling Sportsman took out. And crosstown sports rivals have come together to support a family in Marinette. Last Saturday, a Marinette student was hit by a car and dragged about 50 yards. He's recovering in Milwaukee now, but TV6 senior reporter Jerry Tudor has the story of two communities joining forces when life matters most.
17-year-old Bryce Steinfath is an honor roll student and multi-sport athlete at Marinette High School. On Friday, he was walking home from school, cutting through Higley Field to avoid traffic. Just 80 feet from his back door, he was walking through a crosswalk near the intersection of Kearney Avenue and Josephine Street when he was hit by a car and dragged about 50 yards.
He's at the Children's Hospital in Milwaukee. As of my update this morning, he's in good spirits. He's doing well today. He had femur surgery and had a rod put in his leg, and he's doing a lot of physical therapy. And he broke all of his ribs on his right side, front and back.
As he's recovering, the family has started a GoFundMe campaign to help with medical expenses. When the Menominee Maroons were making their playoff run to the state finals, the Marinette Booster Club helped pay for the Maroons' bus trip down to Ford Field in Detroit. Now Menominee is helping out the Steinfath family.
The Maroons, we've been trying to promote that GoFundMe page as much as we can on our Facebook page and get the word out across the community. And in the past 24 hours, since we've been making that push, a great number of donations have come in from folks here in Menominee.
Bryce's father says he's humbled by all the support.
Stories that people tell me or message me daily about what kind of person they think my son is and how much they care about him. I mean, to know that he's 17 years old and he's touched so many lives is overwhelming. I couldn't be more proud of him.
Bryce's father says staff at the hospital in Milwaukee say Bryce could be home in about a week. Plans are being made for a welcome home party. Jerry Tudor, TV6 News, Marinette.
Thank you, Jerry. Today, hundreds of middle school students visited Michigan Tech for the Mind Trekkers 1UP Copper Trail Festival. The event allows the students to check out STEM and STEM-related careers, businesses, and activities. These range from running on oobleck liquid to learning about what it's like to be a miner in the Quincy mine. Organizers say the goal is for students to find something that interests them and could consider as a career down the road. This is the festival's second year, and organizers say they managed to reach a larger audience.
We were able to secure some additional funding through grants to bring students from further away, from districts closer to the Gogebic-Ontonagon side and further south.
So keeping students that already know what the UP is about in our area, if we can, is really ideal. So trying to spark that interest in our local in-demand occupations and career paths, that's really important.
The Mind Trekkers and its festival partners will also be holding a similar festival in Escanaba this spring. And as you look for the perfect Christmas gift, UPAWS reminds you pets may not make the best presents. For one thing, the person you get the gift for might not want a pet. UPAWS says a lot of people return their pets after a year. The Delta Animal Shelter Operations Coordinator says there are a number of things you can do as a gift instead of buying a pet.
One thing you could do is like donate to your relative's local shelter in their name. We have a lot of people do that around Christmas time. Another thing you could do is coordinate a day to volunteer at that shelter and bring that relative with, and even just bringing them into the shelter to hang out with some of the animals when you're on Christmas break from school or stuff like that.
Shelters say if you follow this advice, you could save a pet's life. And finally tonight on the TV6 Digital Desk live stream, Marquette County Toys for Tots and the Salvation Army teamed up to make sure the holiday season is special for everyone in Marquette County. Toys for Tots delivered a 20-foot trailer full of toys to the Salvation Army's toy distribution site today. The toys came from the more than 90 donation boxes that have been in Marquette County since October.
They're able to have something for their families instead of worrying about, just having the basics for, food and their utilities and that, that there is a little something for their children underneath the Christmas tree.
You can apply for the Toy Shop program until this Saturday. Applications are available at the Salvation Army in Marquette or Ishpeming every Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's all the stories we have for you tonight. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, where I'll be here in the same place at the same time. That's 8/7 Central Time with a recap of tomorrow's headlines. If you have a story idea you think we should report on, feel free to contact us at any time. These are a few easy ways to get a hold of both myself and others in the newsroom. And again, you can contact us at any time. We would love to hear from you and what's happening in your community. Don't forget, you can find us streaming on Facebook or YouTube, whichever platform you'd prefer. And thank you all again for joining me live at the TV6 Digital Desk. Have a great rest of your night.